Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something real simple. You're going to get hurt in this life. That's just part of the deal. People will lie to you, betray you, disappoint you, and sometimes they're the very ones you love the most. And when that happens, the first thing you want to do is fight back, clap back, get even. I know that feeling. Oh, I know it well. But I had to learn, if you keep letting hurt people make you hurt too, then they win twice. Let me tell you something, and I want you to hear me real clear. Your peace is yours. It ain't something you just hand over to people like it's a gift bag. You know how folks will walk into your life, stir up drama, talk behind your back, disrespect you, and then act like you the problem when you react? I know you've seen it. But let me tell you the real trick, the real strength. It ain't in how loud you clap back. It's in how quiet you stay when you know you got peace on the inside. See, I had to learn this the hard way. For years, I let folks' behavior mess with my mood. Somebody say something slick, I'm stewing about it all day. Somebody disrespect me, I'm replaying it over and over in my head, thinking about what I should have said. I gave away my peace every time. You know what I learned? That's too high a price to pay. It costs too much. See, your peace, that inner calm, that stillness, that's your anchor. That's your foundation. And when you let somebody come in and shake that, you're giving them more power than they deserve. Let me break it down for you. You ever walk into a room full of negative energy and before you know it, your whole mood shifts? You were smiling, feeling good, but now you heavy, you tense, you upset, and you don't even know why. That's what happens when you let other people's behavior dictate your atmosphere. That's when you lose control of your peace. And I'm telling you today, stop giving people that kind of control over your spirit. Now, I'm not saying be a robot. I'm not saying don't feel anything. You're going to feel it. You're human. But feel it and then manage it. Don't let it manage you. Somebody cuts you off in traffic, flips you the bird, don't chase them down. Let them go. That's their storm. You don't have to invite it into your day. Somebody you trusted turns on you, hurts you deep. Yeah, that pain is real, but don't build your identity around it. Don't give them the satisfaction of watching you fall apart. You see, when people know they can get a reaction out of you, that's when they push harder. They thrive off your emotional response. And now, instead of living your life, you out here reacting to theirs. You jump in every time they move, stressed out, losing sleep, all because you made their opinion more valuable than your peace. Don't do that. Your peace should never be negotiable. You got to learn how to stay grounded. Learn how to take a breath and say, you know what? That's not about me. That's their issue, not mine. I had to train myself, train my mind to walk away from people who want to disturb my peace. And sometimes that means being the bigger person, not because they're right, not because they deserve grace, but because you deserve peace. And here's the thing, peace don't mean silence. It don't mean being a pushover. It means having power and choosing when and how to use it. It means knowing you could set it off, but choosing to keep you cool instead. That's power. That's maturity. That's strength. It's saying, I refuse to be pulled into chaos that I didn't create. So when people come at you sideways, and they will, you got a choice. You can react or you can protect. Reacting might feel good for a moment, but protecting your peace, that lasts, that builds you, that keeps your mind clear, your heart steady, and your soul focused. You ain't here to fight every battle. You ain't here to prove your worth to everybody. You're here to walk in purpose, to stay in alignment, and to live with peace. And nobody should be able to steal that from you just because they don't know how to handle their own mess. So every time someone brings drama to your doorstep, ask yourself one thing: is this worth my peace? If the answer is no, let it go. Walk away. Smile if you have to. Keep it moving, because nothing, and I mean nothing, is worth trading your peace for. Let me talk to you for a second about something most folks struggle with. Forgiveness. Yeah, that one. The thing everybody talks about, but very few want to actually do. It sounds real good in church. It sounds real deep in a quote on social media. But when it's time to put into practice, man, that's where it gets hard, because forgiving someone who hurt you, especially someone who never said sorry, who never even tried to make it right, that don't feel fair. It feels like letting them off the hook. But let me tell you something that changed my life. Forgiveness ain't about them, it's for you. See, I used to think forgiveness meant saying what they did was okay. I thought if I forgave somebody, it meant they got away with it, like they beat me. I thought if I let it go, I'd be weak. But I was wrong. You know what real weakness is? Holding on to pain so tight that it starts to control you. Carrying bitterness around like a backpack filled with bricks. That's heavy. That's draining. That's what keeps you stuck. I realized I wasn't hurting them by holding that grudge. I was only hurting me. When you carry unforgiveness, it poisons your spirit. It changes how you see people. It changes how you love. It hardens your heart and puts you in a prison you can't even see. And the crazy part is, the person who hurt you might not even be thinking about it. They've moved on, living their life, sleeping just fine at night, and you're the one losing sleep, replaying that betrayal over and over again like a movie stuck on repeat. You're reliving pain they don't even remember causing. That's why forgiveness has to be about freeing you, not fixing them. And let me say this, forgiveness don't mean reconciliation. You ain't got to let them back in your life. You ain't got to trust them again. You ain't even got to talk to them. Forgiveness just means you're done carrying the weight of what they did. You're done letting that moment define your whole life. You saying, you hurt me, but I'm not giving you the power to keep hurting me. I remember times when people did me wrong and I wanted revenge. I wanted to make them feel what I felt. But the truth is, revenge don't heal you, it just delays your healing. You think getting even will fix it, but it won't. What fixes it is letting go. Saying, I refuse to carry this pain into my future. That's the kind of freedom I'm talking about. That's the kind of peace forgiveness brings. I had to learn to forgive people who never said a word to me, people who acted like nothing ever happened. And I had to do it silently, by myself, with no apology, no closure. You know why? Because my peace was too valuable to wait on somebody else to grow up. I wasn't about to keep drinking poison hoping they'd get sick. That ain't living, that's surviving. And I'm not trying to survive anymore. I'm trying to live. So you might be sitting there with a heavy heart right now, thinking about somebody who did you wrong, somebody who lied on you, betrayed you, walked away. I get it. I've been there. But I need you to understand, forgiveness don't make you weak. It makes you wise. It means you've decided that your heart deserves to be light again. It means you've chosen healing over hate. So stop waiting for them to say sorry. Stop waiting for them to admit what they did. You might never get that, but you can still get your peace back. You can still smile again. You can still walk with your head up, not because it didn't happen, but because you refuse to let it break you. That's what forgiveness really is. It's not a gift to them, it's a gift to yourself. Let me tell y'all something that most people don't learn until they're already drained, worn out, and fed up. You got to protect your energy. I'm talking about your time, your peace, your spirit, your focus, all of it. Because if you don't, people will pull on you, drain you, and use you up until there's nothing left for you. I learned this the hard way. I used to say yes to everybody. I used to pick up every phone call, listen to every complaint, try to fix everybody's problems until I looked up one day and realized I was exhausted, not just tired, empty. That's when I had to learn a powerful word: boundaries. Boundaries ain't about being mean. They're about being clear. They're about saying, this is what I will allow. This is what I won't. Because not everybody in your life is meant to have full access to you. Some folks are only supposed to be in the hallway, but you let them in your living room. Some folks are only supposed to wave from a distance, but you gave them a seat at your table. And now they eating off your plate, judging your house, and tracking dirt across your floors. See, when you don't set boundaries, people will create their own. They'll decide how much of you they get, how much of your time they take, how they speak to you, how they treat you, and it'll never be in your favor. That's just human nature. So if you don't respect your own energy, nobody else will. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow, by what you tolerate. If they always bring drama and you keep showing up, you're telling them it's okay. If they disrespect you and you let it slide, you're showing them that your peace ain't a priority. That's on you, not them. I had to start saying no. And let me tell you, it was hard at first. I'm a people person. I love helping. But I had to realize every time I said yes to something that didn't serve me, I was saying no to something that did. I was saying no to rest, no to creativity, no to my own goals. You see what I'm saying? You can't be everything to everybody. Sometimes you got to shut the door, silence the noise, and take care of you. And it ain't just about strangers. Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones you need the strongest boundaries with. Family, friends, even people you love. Just because you love them doesn't mean you owe them unlimited access. Love without boundaries turns into obligation, and obligation without peace turns into resentment. You find yourself showing up out of guilt, not love. Doing things just to keep the peace on the outside while chaos is boiling on the inside. That's not healthy. That's not love. That's sacrifice without self-respect. And don't let people guilt you for protecting your energy. Oh, they'll try. You've changed. Yeah, I have. I grew. You're acting different. I am different. I got tired of being tired. I stopped shrinking to make other folks comfortable. And once I realized that peace feels better than pleasing everybody, I never looked back. You don't owe everybody an explanation. Sometimes your no is enough. Sometimes silence is the best response. Sometimes stepping back is the only way to move forward. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's necessary. It's wise. It's grown folk business. Because when you protect your peace, you become a better version of yourself. Clearer, calmer, more focused. And when you're operating from a full tank instead of running on fumes, you can give from a place of strength instead of survival. Let me tell you something that life taught me after it knocked me down more times than I can count. Pain is a teacher. Oh yeah, it hurts. It breaks you. It makes you question everything. But if you pay attention, pain will also teach you. It'll show you things about yourself, about people, and about life that you never would have seen if everything was always easy. I know we don't like pain, nobody does, but sometimes pain is the very thing that pushes you to become what comfort never could. I've had times in my life where I was broken. I mean, really broken. Felt like I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Couldn't move. And in those moments, I didn't see no purpose in the pain. I was just angry, confused, lost. But looking back now, I see what it was doing. That pain was preparing me. It was molding me. It was stripping away what I didn't need, revealing what I did need, and teaching me who I really was under all the noise. Pain don't just hurt, it reveals. It exposes weaknesses, fake friends, bad habits, wrong directions. And when you learn from it, when you really listen to what the pain is trying to tell you, it becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. But here's the key. You gotta choose to grow through it. You gotta stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? That's the shift. That's the mindset that turns wounds into wisdom. See, most people go through pain and get bitter. They shut down. They stop trusting. They stop dreaming. But the strong ones, the ones who learn how to rise, they come out of the fire refined, not ruined. They use the pain as fuel. That heartbreak, it taught you what love isn't. That betrayal, it taught you what loyalty should look like. That failure, it showed you what you still need to work on. The pain didn't break you. Now, don't get me wrong, rising from pain ain't easy. It takes time. It takes healing. It takes a whole lot of conversations with yourself when nobody's watching. But if you stay stuck in the pain, if you keep replaying it, reliving it, holding on to it, you're not healing, you're bleeding. And you can't rise if you're too busy reopening the wound every day. At some point, you got to say, yes, this happened. Yes, it hurt, but no, it won't define me. That's when the rise begins. You start to stand up again. A little shaky at first, still sore from what you went through. But step by step, day by day, you find your strength. You find your voice. You remember who you are. And now, you ain't the same. You stronger, wiser, tougher. You walk different because you earned that walk. You speak different because you've lived through what most people don't even talk about. And now, when the next storm comes, and it will, you know how to stand. You know that pain doesn't last forever, and you know you've survived before, so you can survive again. So if you're going through pain right now, I feel you. I really do. But don't you let it break you. Let it build you. Learn from it. Grow from it. Rise up with it, because pain, as hard and heavy as it is, just might be the very thing that launches you into your purpose. Sometimes the best parts of your life are on the other side of the worst pain you've ever felt. You just got to decide not to stay down. Let me tell you something that'll save you years of heartache if you really hear me right now. Bitterness will block your blessings. I ain't talking about temporary anger or frustration. I'm talking about that deep-rooted resentment that settles in your heart when somebody's done you wrong, when life hasn't been fair, and you start walking around with that chip on your shoulder like the world owes you something. I get it. You were hurt. You were betrayed. Somebody played with your heart, maybe even tried to break your spirit. But you can't let that bitterness take root, because once it does, it starts messing with your future. Bitterness don't just affect your emotions, it affects your decisions, your relationships, your mindset. It colors how you see the world. You start expecting bad from people. You stop trusting. You stop dreaming. You start shrinking. You close doors before God can even open them because you're too focused on who slammed the last one in your face. And let me tell you something. God don't bless bitterness. He blesses growth. He blesses surrender. He blesses healing. So if your heart is full of hate, anger, and revenge, there's no room for grace, no room for joy, no room for the favor you've been praying for. See, I've been there. I've had people hurt me and keep walking like it was nothing. I've had folks lie on me, betray me, talk behind my back, and for a long time, I carried that pain like armor. I thought being bitter was strength. I thought it made me tough. But in reality, it made me stuck. Bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. You sitting there mad, angry, stewing over what happened, and they out there living their life like they never missed a beat. You can't let what they did continue to control your joy. That's giving them too much power. Bitterness makes you miss what's in front of you because you're too busy looking back. You can't build a future if you're still chained to the past. You can't love again if your heart's still locked in that last heartbreak. You can't move forward if every step you take is anchored to what someone else did to you. I'm not saying forget it. I'm saying release it. You can remember the lesson without holding on to the pain. You can acknowledge what happened without letting it define you. The truth is, sometimes you have to bless people and let them go, not because they deserve peace, but because you do. You've got blessings with your name on them, but if your hands are full of resentment, how are you going to catch them? Let it go so you can grow. Let it go so you can rise. Let it go so you can receive what's already waiting for you. Some of y'all are one decision away from peace, one decision away from healing, but you got to be willing to lay the bitterness down. You got to be willing to say, I'm not carrying this into another year, another relationship, another opportunity, because that bitterness is heavy. It slows you down. It clouds your vision. It makes you suspicious of every good thing, like you're waiting for the next betrayal. And you know what? That ain't no way to live. So I'm asking you right now, what are you holding on to that's blocking your blessings? Who are you still mad at that God already removed for your protection? What pain are you rehearsing over and over that's keeping your joy on pause? You've got to make a decision. Do I want to stay bitter or do I want to be blessed? Because you can't have both. Your future deserves better than your past, and your spirit deserves better than bitterness. Let me tell you something I had to learn. Sometimes you just got to step back and let God fight your battles. I know that's not always easy. When somebody hurts you, lies on you, disrespects you, you want to clap back. You want to prove your point. You want to make them feel the pain they gave you. That's natural. But the problem with fighting every battle is you'll wear yourself out. You can't have peace and be at war with everybody at the same time. You got to choose. And I chose peace because I learned that God can handle people better than I ever could. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying you be weak or you let folks walk all over you. I'm saying you don't have to waste your energy chasing revenge. You don't have to lose sleep trying to make somebody pay for what they did. See, what I found out is when you try to handle it on your own, you end up making a mess. But when you turn it over to God, when you say, Lord, I don't like this, but I trust you to deal with it. That's when things start shifting. That's when he steps in and handles it in a way only he can. I've seen it with my own eyes. People tried to bury me, tried to ruin my name, and I wanted to fight back. I really did. But something in my spirit said, be still, let God work. And sure enough,